The crack of impact echoed through the training hall. Every eye turned. The General's hand had struck her, a fragile girl, as he whispered with disdain, but what came next shattered every expectation. In less than 5 seconds, the man who commanded authority was on his knees, begging for mercy. Silence hung thick in the air, broken only by the rapid beat of hearts and the soft shuffle of soldiers trying to process the impossible. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you were watching from. I love knowing who's listening. Her name was Lieutenant Elara Quinn. They called her Fragile because she didn't tower over the other recruits, because her voice was soft, because she smiled too easily. But Elara had spent years learning how to harness her vulnerability, how to turn perceived weakness into a weapon sharper than any blade. That morning, sunlight streamed through the tall windows, dust motes floating like tiny soldiers in the golden haze. The training hall smelled faintly of sweat, oil, and polished floors, a scent of discipline and expectation. The general, a legend known for his ruthless precision, had been testing the unit. He walked past rows of soldiers, eyes cold, footsteps measured. When he stopped before Elara, there was a pause, too long, too deliberate. Raised his hand, and every soldier flinched instinctively, anticipating the strike that would assert dominance. It landed, and pain flared across Elara's cheek. The hall exhaled collectively, but Elara did not falter. She had been waiting not for revenge, not for spectacle, but for justice. Her mind raced, calculating angles, pressure points, balance. In a fluid motion that seemed almost serene, she shifted her stance, met his force with precise counterweight, and leveraged it against him. Bones and joints moved with a quiet inevitability. Strength born of training, timing, and patience flowed through her. Within seconds, the general's posture collapsed, his arms pinned and immobilized. Shock registered on his face, disbelief contorting his features. Whispers rippled through the hall. Soldiers froze, unsure whether to intervene or simply witness. Their breaths were shallow. Some thought she had gone too far. Others realized she had done exactly what needed to be done. Lara's hands were steady, her eyes calm. She looked not at the man beneath her, but at the soldiers, at the lessons that had gone unspoken for too long. Power without wisdom was dangerous. Authority without empathy was tyranny. In that quiet moment, she embodied both restraint and strength. The general's voice, usually commanding, now trembled. "Mercy, please," he gasped, the words foreign to his mouth. Humiliation, for the first time, became a language he could understand. Soldiers began murmuring, the tension breaking like ice under sunlight. Some cheered softly, others nodded, respect mingling with awe. The hall was alive with the recognition of courage, not the explosive, flashy kind, but the unyielding, disciplined kind that changes hearts and minds. Later, as Elara wiped the sweat from her brow, the moral weight of her actions settled. She questioned herself, had she gone too far? Could she have handled it differently? But deep down, she knew that courage was measured not by compliance, but by the willingness to stand firm in the face of injustice. That day, she had taught an entire regiment a lesson they would never forget. As the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the polished floor, Elara walked among her fellow soldiers. Their eyes followed her with reverence, not because of fear, but because of admiration. Strength, she realized, was not about striking first or loudest, it was about standing tall when it mattered most. With clarity, precision, and heart. Because courage is not loud, it is deliberate, unwavering, and quietly transformative. And the memory of that morning, when the fragile girl became the force that humbled a general, would linger long after the hall emptied, like sunlight trapped in dust. If this story moved you, leave a comment and share where you're watching from. Don't forget to subscribe to Whispered Words for more unforgettable stories of courage, strength, and justice that inspire long after the final sentence.